Hi again, and welcome to week 1. At this point, I'm sure you're just chomping at the bits. You have a great idea for an e-learning project and you just want to get started right now. I know, I've been there. And you aren't going to like it much when I tell you to back up and slow down. But I promise, I really, truly promise that if you do just that, back up and slow down, you will save time in the end. Everyone is here with a slightly different mission, and I am on that mission with you. Past students have done amazing work solving for problems in their community, in their classrooms, and in their work. I have helped students create learning to build empathy, to fall in love with film, to become a foster parent. I have had students that have built out online experiential courses in engineering using Legos. And I have worked with students to make their compliance training just simply not suck. So no matter who you are and why you're here, I want your learning to be those 3 magical words: meaningful, memorable, and motivational. In this first week, when I ask you to back up and slow down, it's so that you can validate your ideas. If you have not yet, you will read the first couple chapters of Alan's book, and you will start to see the pitfalls that e-learning often falls prey to. Our goal early on is to protect you and protect your ideas from those pitfalls. The best defense against sad e-learning is really good analysis. I could probably teach an entire class just on analysis, but for the sake of time and this course, I am going to break it down into 3 stages. The first one is validate the problem. The second is validate e-learning as the solution. And the third one is know what success looks like. So validate the problem. This simply means, what is the current status? Why is it not working? And is it a training issue or is it something else? So here's an example. A cafeteria had 2 food safety violations against them, and they cannot afford to have a third or they'll be shut down. They have 20 employees and a high turnover rate. The employees are not exercising safe food handling practices. So is the problem that the employees don't know safe food handling practices, or do they know them and they just are not motivated to practice them? This question has to be answered before you can continue. Is it possible that they simply don't understand the consequences of these violations and the safety hazards that present to their customers? If that's the case, reteaching them safe food handling is just not going to solve the problem. Of course, if they don't know safe food handling, then a course on best practices should be a valid option. Number 2, validate e-learning as a solution. Once you have clearly identified the problem and can say that it's a training solution that's necessary, validate that e-learning is the best mode for that training. So let's go back to our example. A group of 20 employees that work in the same facility, well, they might be able to be trained as a group by one instructor-led training. In that case, e-learning might not be the answer. However, as I pointed out, turnover is high, so perhaps there is a frequent need for this training, or perhaps the cafeteria is open 24 hours a day, so there's no way to get everyone into a class at the same time. So these are reasons why maybe e-learning is the best option and a valid option. And then 3, know what success looks like. I cannot stress this enough. The importance of being able to prove that your training has had an impact. Your training needs to show results. So know ahead of time what results you want to see. Again, in our example, the obvious business impact should be that there's no more food safety violations. But there are actually some other measurements that you can use as well. So one example would be to observe the employee's actions before training and track their poor behaviors. And then track those behaviors after the training and use the comparative data to show your impact. So once you have followed those steps, you really are set to start thinking about your e-learning.